Okay. We are still dropping frames, but it's like not even remotely as bad as it was before. And connection's been looking a little wonky today as well, but not like horrible, but thankfully it looks like we won't have that issue where it's just dipping every hour or like a couple times an hour. It's like 30 frames here or there, just half a second, so probably don't even notice it.
Such a pleasant fragrance.
Time to make tracks then. Yep, we've got places we need to be.
Once you enter the office, you'll be unable to include Ethel in the party. Wait. What? Okay, no, I do have it. But if I keep her around everyone else, we'll be able to get it faster. I'm going to sneeze. Let's just do some side quests with her to see if that'll go to the other characters.
Better make sure we're well rested. Let's lay out the facts.
I guess I want a side quest.
Could you all come round for a second?
Okay, that one was a side quest. I would figure all of these would be side quests, but that one had a specific marker on it. Oh, I guess that was just experience. Okay, so some of them are quests, some of them are just sort of
Let's
flavor
bounce.
text. Yeah, sort of what you said there about Death Stranding there, Ika. Yeah, Kojima games are mostly, you know, not just like they're not like gameplay forward, even though like, you know, he does gameplay very well. I don't think there's a single bad Kojima game, but they've all been sort of more action-oriented games to keep you more involved. Death Stranding is like when people say walking simulator, it is walking simulator. It's like you really gotta enjoy like oh, I gotta know what happens. You know, oh, I want to you know, help do all the side quests and help these people and kind of figure out what's going on.
Looks like a
You know,
pretty
that is the game. Like with Metal Gear, like the game is just fun. Like, and the story's good. Like you can recommend Metal Gear 2, 3. 4 is maybe where it gets a little dicey because it is like it is a lot. The gameplay is still good, but there's a lot of story. And 5 again, 5 is really good, but it's not finished, which sucks because it honestly Metal Gear 5 was like almost the perfect game. It just needed that last little bit to kind of take it over the top. And maybe if they didn't focus, you know, on multiplayer at all and just kind of eliminated that aspect, maybe we could have had the perfect Metal Gear game. But unfortunately, we didn't quite get it. Not to say that the game is bad. It's just it kind of falls apart near the end. But, you know, can't really do anything about it. And I did enjoy the online when I did play it. I did enjoy the online.
Hear that, Noah? Lance wants something a bit meatier.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the future of Metal Gear. Kind of going forward from, I guess there. It's been quite a while since Metal Gear 5. And I know Pomu's been playing through them all. It seems like everyone just plays Revengeance and then like goes back and plays the rest of the Metal Gear games, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just kind of weird that Revengeance is number one. It's like the least Metal Gear game, but it's like the one that introduces like everyone to like actually want to play them. Plus, it's just good. It is just. I think like I honestly forget that Revengeance is a platinum game. I'm so used to like, oh, Bayonetta, Wonderful 101. And then like whenever it's like something like kind of niche, like Nier, I forget, is just developed by Platinum. Revengeance. I know there's a couple licensed ones like the Ninja Turtles one, Legend of Korra one, and they did a couple Transformers, but I think they've all been like delisted, which sucks. Even though like I don't think they were. I think the Transformers one were actually like good enough, but I know I do have the Korra Platinum game. And it's okay. But I heard that the Turtles one was really bad. I don't know why I'm choosing to walk all the way there.
Whoa, got a rare doodah right here. Hey, that's not your everyday
Don't try to
shop.
stop us. All set and ready to tumble.
Overboard. I need you, Mio. Got them. Dragon tail. We're unstoppable with you around, Sam.
I was planning on fighting all of
I'm
them.
the girl with the gall.
Overboard. I'm here. Roll your butt.
So you're smart and amazing. Sorcery.
I mean, maybe they'll show up again. I wouldn't hold my breath on it. It's like kind of like look how long it took Scott Pilgrim to come back. Like 10 years. And it's probably been pretty close to that time already, but like Ninja Turtles isn't like, I don't know, Ninja Turtles is in a weird spot right now. And I know the Rise of Ninja Turtles movie came out on Netflix the other week, which I was hesitant to watch because I don't know, I feel like my opinion isn't like
I'm the girl with the gall.
too far from like what people think, because I don't think Rise as a series isn't great. Like the art and animation is definitely like on point, but like the actual like content of the show is like, it's like a turtle show for no one. And it also just like unfortunately had to be the follow-up to what I think is the best turtle show, which is the 2012 series.
Got a rare doodah right here.
Like that's gonna be so hard to like top, especially with doing everything completely different, which is the problem they had. I think the fact that it was so different did not do it any favors. But I mean, I'm not a showrunner. I couldn't tell you how to fix it. You know, like I said, they just did a turtle series where they pretty much did everything. They did everything, referenced everything. And like you can't really do that again. And if they had to do something different, I think they unfortunately didn't do it. The way I would probably have, if that was my option, like, hey, everything must be different.
I'm glad nobody's hurt.
I don't
This
think
room belongs to all of you. You should be
they
proud.
did it in a good way. I think I just said the same thing like 3 times. And gave no constructive criticism.
Such is the officer's duty.
What game looked great, Ika? I kind of just talked about a whole bunch of them. I'm assuming you mean the Turtles game. Yeah, the game looks good, but apparently it played really badly and is not fun.
We're going up in the world.
Okay, we definitely can't go to that area. See, is it filling up? No, it does not. Okay, so they don't gain experience from just being with the hero character. It's only from when our party members do it. No, it's not side scroller. You're probably looking at a different one. It's a 3D action game by Prime. It's like called like like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, you know, Shadow. It's like something. It's got shadows in the name. Shadows in the Half Shell. And like the turtles look kind of weird. Like the voice acting's kind of weird. Which is like the weirdest choice whenever there's like a Turtles game and like there's a voice cast you can clearly choose.
A rare thing?
And they're like, we're going to revoice everyone. Like, why? It was called Mutants in Manhattan. That's what it was called. It was not Shadows in the Half Shell. %, Metacritic. Release date 2016. Honestly, way sooner than I thought it was released. That was only a year before the Switch came out. Out of the Shadows. Yeah, there was like a turtle. Out of the Shadows. There was another one. What the heck? Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Oh, that's the movie. What the heck? There's too much turtle stuff in my brain. I can't even get it straight anymore. When it's kind of below the bar, it kind of mixes together. When it's really good, like I'm like, oh, that's this Turtles. Aside from comics, I'm not supremely hardcore into Turtles. I'm just kind of like TV and movie Turtle fan. No, it was not one that came out a couple months ago. I'm assuming that's a Rise game. Which I would willingly not support that series. Because number one, it's over. Number two, I don't really care much.
I have to ask before you go. Why is it that you stick together?
Given what's what, we pretty much have to.
Considering how everybody attacks us on sight now.
At this point, I suppose it just panned out this way.
You really think so? That's not really how it looks to me.
Well, one thing's for sure. We were sworn enemies once. And yet, we all share the will to live in the now. Before becoming Ouroboros, I never realized. But that common will, it was reason enough to stick together.
I see. Not everyone makes the choice to fight willingly. Lance said that you have to. Well, right now every one of us has to. There's no question it would be better if they didn't. Your journey may have started out of necessity, but now you're pushing forwards towards a common goal. And that might be all we want, and all that we wish the world could be.
What we wish it could be.
You're heading out as well.
As soon as we're done here, I'll make for the castle.
What?
You forget, I am the commander. We haven't revolted against our nation, so I have to report in.
Ethel, are you sure?
Oh, don't worry. I'll be leaving you out of it.
That's not it. The consul earlier turned Mobius. Were it to...
If you mean that monster, I'm well aware of the risk.
Then why?
Because it's my responsibility to those I command. As for the consul, we can say he died in an accident.
And you can't do it remotely.
Now that the consul and Flame Clock are both lost to us, I have to make a report, and not over comms. I have to requisition more supplies, too.
And what if they fit you with a new clock?
I can worry about that then.
You're fine with it, really?
Don't get preoccupied with us. Keep to your path. Follow it, wherever it may lead you. Life is short.
I suppose.
Hey, while we're all still here, one more word of warning. The consul was attempting to remove you from the picture. In light of that, you'll likely come up against hostility. But listen, you should keep engagement to a minimum. Kevis or Agnes. That goes for both of them.
But if we break their clocks, just like with Colony 4 here, they would be free, wouldn't they?
You'd do well to remember not everyone thinks the same as I do, even within this colony. Many still haven't come to accept their new reality. To make things even more fraught, in other colonies, there are those who are more than willing to fight, as you'd expect.
So it's no use appealing to their sense of compassion, or hoping they'll treat us fairly. Is that it?
Yes, precisely. You will change the fate of others just by virtue of coming into contact with them. It's quite the burden. You may not want the responsibility.
A burden, perhaps.
All that said, you get embers on your coat, you have to brush them off. If push comes to shove, do not flinch. Do whatever it takes, for the greater good. I wish you all a smooth and fruitful journey. dangerous, huh? If only we could have been there as well.
You took the route data again. Make sure we're on the right path. We're on course for Sword March. First, we'll need to take the southeast road through Ribby Flats. Ah, yes. That's the route that Ethel recommended. Correct. She said the battlefronts are pretty static at the moment. But do we have any intel about the colony deployment? As far as Ethel and Colony 4 is concerned, we've got a pretty good idea. But what about any other? But what about any other? Duh. Great read. I wouldn't expect any shenanigans all the way out here. In any case, we mustn't let our guard down along the way. Danger could be lurking anywhere in the background, so insecurity stalks us. Not much we can do about that. Aw, come on, man. We'll muddle through. Let's hope so. Hey, I mean, if we run into any other colonies, is it necessarily a bad thing? Are you sure about that? Does it matter if we run into Agnes or Kevis? Either one would mean getting into a dust-up. True. But what I meant was, if we destroyed their flame clock, we'd set everyone free, like we did for Colony 4. Easy to say. Well, sure, I mean, if conditions allow it. If we're brushing off embers, we'll have no choice in the matter. That's right. And maybe it's better if we put off worrying about that until the time comes. Uni's speaking sense there. True, we can just react to events as they happen. Play it by ear. Gotcha. I'll apply myself to that. Also, Ika, I just realized you were talking about Shredder's Revenge. I was so wrapped up in Rise. I'm like, there was a Rise video game. You're talking about the good Turtles game. Shredder's Revenge. I don't think I streamed it. I kind of bought it with the intent that possibly, maybe, I would play with other people. But do you think that happened? Destroying a colony flame clock will liberate it from the console's grasp. Once liberated, the people are free to act how they like, opening up new info fragments to find. Warning level. Every time a colony is liberated, the warning level of its nation, Kevis, and Agnes will increase. Warning levels for each nation can be checked in the main menu. As the threat increases, so too will the number of soldiers from each nation deploy on the field. You can check the various people in the colony to get along. I'm gonna restart. You can check how various people in a colony get along with each other by using the affinity chart. It also shows your basic profile for each person. Oh my gosh, there was an affinity chart section that I just didn't read. Item retriever caravan call. I mean, I ended up playing Shredder's Revenge with like real life people, but I never streamed. I just kind of played it off stream. I just realized there's a item here. point.
I see some relations have changed.
And the Cowabunga collection comes out, I think soon-ish. We just talk to her. And I'll definitely be picking that up. It's got the arcade version of Turtles in Time, which I've never played. I've only played the Super Nintendo version, which I think actually has more, but it doesn't have 4-player co-op. Whoa. So dark. And it's got like all the NES Turtle games. I think it has the original Turtles arcade game on there as well. That did get ported to
This sounds pretty serious.
NES. I think the new one has 6-player. That's like new to Shredder's Revenge. I'm pretty sure the original Turtles in Time only had 4, because it only had four characters. Unless, like, I'm just really dumb and have no idea. Where's that? Okay. The perfect line. Me and Mark Rutsu. The perfect line! We die. We live.
Smarts.
Yeah, I don't. I'll definitely buy the Cowabunga collection, but I don't know if I'll stream it because I don't really want to just stream me going through Turtles in Time as Donatello by myself. I think I want to say the X-Men arcade game was 6-player because I know it had a bigger screen. It was like a double size. This is impossible. It was like a double-sized arcade cabinet. So I want to say it was X-Men, which has not been re-released like ever. I think it was re-released once as an extra in like a crappy X-Men game. That I would love. And again, Capcom did the beat 'em up. They did the beat 'em up bundle, but there were a couple that are not on there, which for licensing reasons probably makes sense. Like there's no Alien vs Predator on there, and there's no Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which I think are the only two that are not on there. You are kidding me. Yeah, actually, a lot of older games I haven't actually played. A lot of these games were seriously like just before like Oh my gosh, is this possible? It has to be. I'm trying one more time. If not, then the hell with you. But when I was in high school, I was really big into retro gaming. It was like nothing, like I wasn't really into too many modern. Well, plus I only owned a Wii. I didn't have like an Xbox where you could play like Halo 3, and I didn't have like Grand Theft Auto. So I really was more into Nintendo and retro gaming. It's impossible. There's a ladder. Okay, there's not really a ladder, but I was dreaming. Yeah, like original arcade version Turtles in Time never got to experience. X-Men. Like Street Fighter 2 and 3. I mean, I did play those like console ports, but I actually didn't play Street Fighter 3 for the first time until like honestly maybe like a year or two ago, when the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection came out. And I didn't even buy that right away. I bought it when it was on sale. So I think it was like either last year's Steam Summer Sale or the year before that was the first time like I physically played it. Not see it. I watched a lot of Third Strike.
I don't want to do this, but you're in our way.
I'm so ready for this.
And which is weird because I actually did play Street Fighter 4 when I actually had like something that could run modern games. I had the PC version of Street Fighter 4, and I don't think there was crossplay. I don't even think crossplay like was even fathomable at the time. Like this was right around the time they were doing those online passes, because people were pissed, and by people I mean like companies were pissed at like resell games. So I just played vanilla Street Fighter 4 on PC for a while, which is why I have an Xbox arcade stick, because that was the one that would work on my I want to say gaming laptop. I don't even think I had a desktop at the time.
Getting dark already.
This is something decent, right?
I'm not big into emulation. I did do not a ton, but I only emulated
Something so valuable.
mostly Super Nintendo games, and it was only because like my cousin's like friend's dad did emulation. He's like, oh, I'll just burn like all my emulator and my ROMs on the CD and just give it to you guys. So we did. And it was just like this huge library of ROMs for Super Nintendo. So I've played a lot of Super Nintendo games. I haven't finished a lot of Super Nintendo games.
Safest colonies with me on the job.
And then I emulated some PlayStation games later, but like nothing crazy. I think I like emulated Resident Evil, the first one, and that was it. But now it seems like they are, companies do want to, the demand of like, hey, these old products are becoming more and more difficult to get and run. Can we start getting some re-releases? So I know Nintendo's working on it. Slightly. Not as great as I know people would want. I still haven't even dipped into the expansion pass of the online. I mean, it's only like $20 extra a year. And they do have my favorite version of Tetris Attack.
We're unstoppable with you around, Senna.
I'm the girl with the gall.
But I can just play the Super Nintendo version. The game's the exact same. It just doesn't have the crazy good soundtrack. But it does come with all that DLC. I haven't bought the Mario Kart DLC at all. Which honestly, I think is... Man, they're never going to be able to charge like more than like $20 for DLC. Well, that's not true. I mean, for me, since I already pay for the online, it would make sense to just get the expansion pass if I need to get like DLC for something. If you just don't have the online, then you're probably getting ripped off. Can't assist. Okay, well.
Here we go, guys.
I'll follow your lead.
I need you, Mia.
But I actually like. I honestly that does make it a bit better. And plus, there's Genesis games on there, but I really am not. I was a Genesis kid, and by Genesis kid I mean my dad's friend. It's always like, oh, my dad's friend, this person's friend. Like I rarely was like, oh, I have this until like I could buy it myself. My dad's friend had a Genesis, so we just borrowed that and rented games. But no, you can't. That's really like, if it was like something like Game Boy,
I'd say we were moving in
I
sync,
would
right?
honestly probably have purchased the expansion pass when it came out.
We can't leave it like this.
Because like, what are they gonna do when like they eventually finally start adding that? Are they gonna make like the expansion pass deluxe and charge another $10 a year for it? Or are they just gonna tag it onto that price? I don't know.
It's another thing to see it for yourself, eh?
Noah, would you mind?
Check out what it bombed.
Ominous.
Is this like a rare thing? So much to see, huh? Tyon?
Yes. I'd really hoped it would turn out to be nothing. Ah, it seems someone else got here first.
That gear must be a high-rank colony.
Lay the Ouroboros where they stand! I'd love to see you try, mate! You're a lifesaver.
Man, just thinking about that X-Men arcade game, like, I don't think it's very likely we'll see that again. It's like in the exact same like scenario as like Capcom versus Marvel. Because now Disney and Marvel are like giga giants. Yeah, let me patent someone else's product. That's a good idea. You know what, Nintendo? Why don't you just, send me a contract? I am available.
You're okay now. I see you! Stormy skies! I'm on healing! Perfect timing. I need you, Mia!
Gemini! Think you can catch me?
We're just gonna chain attack him. Get a little bit of a bonus. Oh, just enough. chili mac. Oh, you know what? It's getting pretty close to food time. I know I said I would stream longer, but I keep forgetting that people eat food. I did eat lunch, but it was like not like I screwed it up. I forgot the healers can't complete it.
What was that?
Pull back. I don't like our odds. They must be silver rank at least.
Your caution dulls your insights. Your crude fighting wastes almost all your potential. And you, good judgment, but you're a bad quitter. Just as I'd heard, sadly.
I knew it. Colony Iota.
I've heard about them.
I bet you have. Commander Alexandria's famed for her keen wit.
How dare you take Dame Alex's name in vain, scum!
We've committed no crimes.
I suppose you can prove that?
Well, proving a negative isn't really possible. But what you think you know isn't the whole truth.
Eat this, sucker! Dame Alex! Senna!
I'm so there!
Sorry to go off book on you folks. Snuff.
That's enough. It will suffice for this little trial. You struggled for your lives in vain. Ouroboros criminals. Those lives will be mine. This I swear.
They're a bunch of morons, just as we'd heard. And rude to boot.
Indeed. But that might make for a fun reception. What you think you know is not the whole truth. Huh. I do hope you'll tell.
Looks like we managed to lose them.
What in Her Majesty's ever-loving cheekbones just happened back there?
Simply put, our foes were well versed in the art of war, though their methods were inelegant, to say the least.
Inelegant, like war's ever pretty.
They're efficient at stockpiling combat rewards. That's how they managed to climb the silver rank already.
I heard they even share their supplies with other colonies. That seems kind of awesome.
Sharing supplies? Why would they do that?
It would prove beneficial in the long term, I think.
Creating debts to strengthen ties with other allied forces does open up your options, insofar as battle tactics are concerned.
And if that leads to better results in combat, you can get your hands on even more goods.
What I'm getting here is that they're trouble.
Yes, and to make matters worse, Alexandria herself announced that they will come for us again.
them a hefty reward, huh?
So how about we turn the tables on them? Punch their lights out.
Listen to yourself, you doofus. We're talking silver here, yeah?
Well, whatever we choose to do, here's something to bear in mind. Colony Iota's commando group is made up of 4 units. Regardless of the precautions we take, we've a high chance of encountering them. We should consider our approach carefully.
Well, in that case, in terms of sheer power, they're the ones with the advantage. We should avoid a direct confrontation. If we could just dismantle those commando units, it would help lower the colony's capabilities.
And it might give us an opening to strike.
Yeah, if it comes to that.
But it basically allows us to avoid fighting as much as possible, right? I like that plan.
No objections from me either.
Personally, I'd hope we don't even meet them.
Good to add more names. Good to add more names. Good to add more names.
Gotta keep nice and limber.
I see some relations have changed.
Time for a nice big breakfast.
I see some relations have changed. More colonies added.
Oh, my plumage is everywhere.
Every day's a training day.